Have you ever felt like some parts of adulting just weren't for you? I used to think that I would never enjoy cooking or ever get the hang of homemaking. I always used to say that one day I would learn to cook, or maybe when I have kids, then I'll start cooking. But over the last year, God has changed my heart and my whole outlook on homemaking. Today I want to share that transformation with you and hopefully spark curiosity about yourself and what you're truly capable of. Welcome back to my channel. If you're joining for the first time, hi, I'm Felicia and welcome. Today while we chat, I'm making pumpkin cupcakes for the first time. I made a cupcake version for my dogs Denver and Boulder, and I've always loved Starbucks pumpkin cream cheese muffins, so I figured I would give it a try. I'm really trying to cut back on sweets. I say that all the time, but I'm serious. So today I'm following a small batch cupcake recipe, because that counts as cutting back, right? But anyway, I've realized this common theme in my life where everything that I claim isn't me or that I don't like ends up being the things that I'm actually pretty good at and that I eventually enjoy doing. I used to say, for example, that I didn't like social media and that I don't want to share intimate aspects of my life, which I will say is still technically true, but I use this as an excuse to not share online when, in fact, I'm a teacher at heart. I love to help guide other people, and I love to teach anything that I know that may be of value to someone else. I used to say that I hated to go out and that I preferred staying at home, yet when I started this YouTube channel, it gave me a reason to get out and explore, and I realized in doing that I actually love new adventures. I do still love being at home, don't get me wrong, but now I genuinely want to get out and explore new things. The world is so vast, and I don't want to spend my whole life in the comfort of my home. And honestly, coming from someone who would be considered introverting, being uncomfortable is a lot more fun. I even used to say that I'm not a church person, but one day I'll force myself to go and to be consistent because I want my children to grow up in the church and have the same solid foundation in the Lord that I did. Fast forward to now, I found a church that I love and that I even not only serve in, but that I also lead a ministry at. I love my church and I can't wait for my children to experience it with my husband and I one day. Of all of my transformations though, homemaking has definitely been the most profound. I used to tell anyone who would listen how much I don't like to cook and how I love a clean home, but how I don't care to be the one to clean it. I thought that when I eventually had a family of my own that I would just outsource as much as I could at home, similar to how I did in my business. I want to read you an excerpt from one of my old podcast episodes from 2 years ago on this same topic. And I'm not going to lie, it feels really cringe reading this now, but I love how I can go back and see the evolution of myself and how I can see how God has changed my heart. To give context, in this episode, I was talking about dating and entrepreneurship and how I felt that it was important to be authentic to who I was at that time. And I said, quote, "I do not like to cook like that. I've always been like this. I'm not a huge fan of cleaning, but I do love a clean home. And so I will make sure that I have a housekeeper that comes consistently, that I do tidy and clean up behind myself. But personally, it's just not my thing." Unquote. Ew. And then I said, quote, "I'm a business owner. I have a lot of things going on, and I really know the value of my time now." Unquote. I don't even recognize this version of myself anymore. And you're probably wondering, how did I go from that to now truly enjoying caring for my home and truly enjoying the art of homemaking? It was by nothing but the grace of God. But looking back, I also realized that I had a skewed idea of what homemaking truly was and I was confusing it with housekeeping. HumorousHomemaking.com defines the difference between homemaking and housekeeping perfectly. She says that housekeeping is the routine task that must be done in order for a system or a home to function or to function efficiently. And then she defines homemaking as the establishment or management of a home. She goes on to say that housekeeping and homemaking are not the same. Housekeeping is the actual action or actions of keeping your house from looking messy. So cleaning toilets, she says, vacuuming, washing blinds and curtains, taking out the trash, sweeping the floor, dusting the cobwebs. And then she says this may also include major tasks like roofing and plumbing repairs. She says that homemaking is the art of making your house a home. And that would be a welcoming atmosphere, love, comfortability, the decor, and then most importantly, you. I didn't like the cooking and cleaning, and so I completely overlooked the fact that I wasn't being intentional about creating a warm atmosphere and a relaxing space for my husband and I to escape from the outside world. I did maintain a peaceful space, but I was still missing so much. It's a process though, and thankfully God showed me this and started to take me through the process now instead of me waiting to do it later. I genuinely enjoy the smiles on my husband and our family's faces when they see that I've baked my famous cookies or any of my desserts. I love having an organized space that I created. And I do still have help deep cleaning my home, but I've realized that not everything can be outsourced. I once heard someone say that you can pay anyone to keep your house, but not everyone can make a home. And that really hit me. Who knows better than how to create a warm, loving, nurturing, peaceful, organized space for me and for my family than me? Looking back, I was so overwhelmed and burned out from business as well as struggling with anxiety that I didn't have the energy for much else. So I don't blame myself for how I thought. And honestly, it's not easy in today's times to work full-time and or have a business, to balance a marriage or relationship, children, pets, and then have to be the CEO of your household. As I leaned into homemaking, it's made it so much easier to show up in other areas of my life, like in my business, and here on YouTube, in my marriage. I stopped having an all or nothing mentality, thinking that I had to go all in on entrepreneurship or all in at home. There is a way to find a balance. It's not easy, and it takes giving it all of it to God and doing your part by setting boundaries, managing your time, utilizing systems, and giving yourself grace through it all. Is there anything in your life that you may have written off or that may be worth re-exploring? Are there any opportunities for growth? I would love to hear, so feel free to share in the comments so we can keep the discussion going. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I wish I could share one of these cupcakes with you because, no lie, they did come out pretty good. But until next time, it's not too late to change or to discover something new about yourself. Each day, we're blessed with an opportunity to start fresh, so don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. I'd love for you to subscribe and join me on my journey of self-discovery so that we can do it together. I can't wait to chat again soon.